There are two reasons why Vietnamese people don't say R blends and L blends well with the P, T, and K sounds. The first, more general reason is that in the Vietnamese language, there's always a vowel after a consonant. But in English, we have a lot of words where consonants come one after the other without a single vowel between them, like in the word stress, which begins with 3 consonants. So to a Vietnamese speaker, it feels strange to say 2 or more consonants together, and they simply say only one and forget the other. The second, more specific reason is that the P, T, and K sounds in Vietnamese are quite weak. But in English, we put a lot of power into these sounds at the beginning of words, and we say them with a big puff of air. We actually put a H sound after the P, T, and K sounds when we begin a word with these sounds. So we say tea, pie, and key. We covered the T and K sounds in episode 11. So if you need any help on how to pronounce these sounds, you can find the detailed instructions in that video lesson. The P sound was discussed in episode 10, so make sure you watch that video as well if you feel that your P sounds are not good. So, when you want to say R blend and L blend words starting with the P, T, or K, you have to say the P, T, K sounds strong with a lot of air before you say the R and L sound. Here are some examples of R blends and L blends starting with a strong P sound. Press, proud, problem, product, promise, pressure, pronounce. Play, please, place, played, plant, plate, plus. Here are some examples of R blends and L blends starting with a strong K sound. Crab, cross, crop, crazy, crash, crowd, crew. Clue, club, cloud, clever, class, clash, client. Here are some examples of R blends starting with a strong T sound. Try, travel, trust, true, trip, tray, trade. Pause this video and practice saying these words with a strong, aspirated T, K, and P sound, followed by the R and L sounds. Make sure that you use a short H sound to make the T, K, and P stronger. T, T, K, K, P, P. Be careful not to say a ch sound instead of the tr. I know that in Vietnamese dialects, people pronounce the tr as ch. For example, in the words chang or chung. But in English, this is not correct. Say the English tr as tr. However, sometimes you can hear native English speakers saying the tr something like tr, such as try, travel, or trust. Don't be surprised if you hear this, as this pronunciation is also acceptable. But always remember that there is also an R sound after the ch. If you feel that your P, T, or K sound is not strong enough, then make the H sound between the first consonant and the R and L sound a little longer. So practice saying the words like press, problem, play, please, crab, cross, clue, club, cry, travel. And when you can say them like this, then reduce the h to normal length. Press, problem, play, please, crab, cross, clue, club, try, travel. To test the power of your p, t, and k sounds, put your hand in front of your mouth when you say these words, and you should feel a lot of air hitting your palm. T, t, k, k, p, p. Pause now.